Maryland volleyball closed with its worst season in 17 years, going 1-19 in conference play and ending on a 13-game losing streak. We'll break down everything that went wrong this season coming up on this edition of the Left Bench in Focus.
Welcome into the Left Bench in Focus. I'm Joe Wagman, joined alongside by Madeleine Burke. And as Thanksgiving break wrapped up this past weekend for many, so did Maryland volleyball's season.
Yeah, Joe, a historically disappointing season is finally over as the Terps close out on a 13-match losing streak. Maryland volleyball wrapped up its season on Friday, trying to avoid ending the season on a 7th straight sweep. And well, that did not happen. The match did not start out easy for the Terps. Right out of the gates, they were trailing and eventually ended the first set 25-16. Moving on to the second set, the Terps continued to compete, but still not enough, falling 25-11. The Terps are able to stay neck and neck with the Ducks throughout the third, but as we've seen all season, nothing to show for it. Oregon is finally able to counter on Maryland's small errors, and the Terps drop a 13th straight match. Here's Adam Hughes on the frustrating season.
Sure, a disappointing result for the year. But I told everyone at Thanksgiving, I'm not disappointed in the humans. I thought they gave it a go, and we had a plan, and it kind of got scattered. And at the same time, they never turned on each other. They never quit. They showed up every day and worked hard. And, I thought they showed their true character. Sure.
Maryland volleyball began its season going 7-3 in non-conference play, but those first 10 matches would be just about all the success they would seemingly have. Following that 10-match stretch, the Terps would go on to have a 1-19 conference record, their worst since joining the Big Ten. Throughout their 20 Big Ten matches, they suffered both a 6-match losing streak and a 13-match losing streak, only being separated by their lone Big Ten victory that came against Rutgers. Unable to win a single set in their final 7 matches, the Terps finished dead last with the Big Ten with an overall record of 8-22, their worst since 2020.
Now to help us better understand what exactly happened this season, we welcome on Jillian Hartman, the Diamondback's volleyball beat reporter. Jillian, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start off with one of the biggest storylines of the season. Why were the Terps so uncompetitive in Big Ten play this year?
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest problem for the Terps this season was just consistency, whether that be offensive, defensive, or just overall. They were kind of plagued by inconsistency the entire season. One routine that they kind of got into is that every first set they would come out playing strong competitively and then just slowly fall off throughout the rest of the game. I think that their main issue was probably inconsistencies offensively, where they saw that they were bottom of the Big Ten in assists and kills this year, and I think that just goes to show that they were unable to break through other Big Ten defenses.
Now, post-game after Oregon, Coach Hughes mentioned that the team never turned on each other throughout the season, despite all of the disappointing losses. Why do you think the team was able to stay so close with each other?
Yeah, I think a big part of that was the players. I think that a lot of the starters and the top players from Maryland have been playing here the last few seasons. And I think that because it's been a disappointing last few seasons, they've learned to base their relationships and their team dynamic on just personal beliefs rather than on performance. And I think that was a big thing for them. I also think that the coaches have kind of emphasized just having a positive mindset throughout the season regardless of the outcome, whether that be game or season, and I think that has come into play a lot too.
The Terps will definitely look to rebound next year after and leave the season behind them. What will the Terps have to do differently next year to be competitive in Big Ten play?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just definitely offensive improvements. One thing that they can look to do going forwards is to kind of balance their hitters so that whenever they play opponents in the Big Ten, it doesn't take just the team focusing on only one attacker to kind of shut down their entire offensive production. For Maryland, I think that the transfer portal is a little difficult because Hughes has not had a winning record while here. It's hard for them to get a lot of those top-ranked recruits to come in, but I think if they focus on kind of balancing out their effects in the freshmen that they have, the transfers that they're able to get, I think that they could definitely improve in the next few seasons, even if it won't come as soon as people might be hoping for.
Now, you mentioned this earlier, but it's no secret that Maryland hasn't had the best luck throughout these past seasons. What do you think Hughes' future looks like with the Terps?
Yeah, I think that's something that Maryland Athletics has focused on a lot is long-term improvement. And I think with Hughes, this is his worst season yet as coach. He's gone 1-19. And the Terps haven't only been able to win a single conference game in nearly 40 years until this season. So it's definitely been a disappointing season for the Terps. And I think that especially with new athletic director Jim Smith, it's definitely up in the air as to whether Hughes has a future here at Maryland or not.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for taking the time to join us, Jillian.
Thank you for having me.
You can follow Jillian on X at Jillian P. Hartman or by going to dbknews.com.
Don't go anywhere, because after this break, TSC's Rachel Lawrence will take us all the way back to 2008 season.
We'll also be playing a fun game we like to call Two Terps and a Lie. Plus, we'll crown our our Terp of the Year and our top 5 plays. Stay with us.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back to Left Bench in Focus. I'm Joe Wagman, and that's Madeleine Burke. And Madeleine, we've already touched on how historically disappointing Maryland volleyball season was this year, but let's dive deeper into how this year stacks up with previous seasons of struggles for the program.
Joining us in Studio B is Rachel Lawrence to break this down. Rachel?
Like you said, it's no secret that Maryland volleyball season didn't turn out how head coach Adam Hughes intended. Its 1-19 conference finish and 8-22 overall marked their worst season in 17 years. Now, are these stats just a one-off for Maryland, or is this another stop on a pattern of non-success? Let's go back to 2008 during Maryland's ACC days. The Terps only won 6 matches, 2 of which were conference, and both of those wins came against teams that they also lost to during the season. They finished the season on the end of an 8-match losing streak, missing out on the conference and national tournaments by a long shot. In their Big Ten debut 6 years later, the Terps finished second to last in the conference while Hughes was an assistant coach under Steve Aird. Maryland only won 3 matches, beating Northwestern and notching 2 wins against Rutgers. Now, when Hughes took over in 2018, the Terps earned their best conference ranking yet, winning 9 Big Ten games and finishing 7th in the conference. But that was the best record under Hughes to date. Now at the end of his 8th season, the Terps managed to squeak out 8 victories, and only 1 of which were against a conference opponent. That plummeted them to the bottom of the Big Ten leaderboard. Maryland volleyball's record has continued to decline over the years. This season wasn't just Maryland's worst season in 17 years, but its worst conference season since 1987. The Terps haven't seen any tournament action in 20 years, back in 2005. Maryland's record since being in the Big Ten is 165-205, giving them a win percentage of just .44. And conference stats aren't much better. The Terps are 65 and 169 since joining the Big Ten 11 years ago. That averages out to just 6 conference games won a season. It also means they've only won 27% of their matches over more than a decade. Joe and Madeline, Maryland volleyball's lack of success this season seems to be the lowest point of a pattern. Hughes and the team might be looking towards action in the offseason to turn the program around and to compete in the Big Ten.
Thanks, Rachel. And Madeline, I think a storyline like this goes back to the question of whether or not it was smart for Maryland to move to the Big Ten. I mean, we see other programs, maybe like men's soccer right now, who are really benefiting from this, but volleyball has never been the dominant force in the Big Ten yet.
No, and you can also look at field hockey, who has been historically very consistent team, but just this past season, they did not make the Big Ten tournament or the NCAA tournament, and it hasn't been that way in 30 years, so you definitely have to think about it.
For sure. Well, now it's time to play a quick game of 2 Terps and a lie. Our producers have picked 2 current players on the volleyball team.
It's our job to guess which is a fact, and which is a lie. Let's get started.
Our first player is Sydney Bryant, and the 3 statements are: she volunteers for I Can Build a Bridge Incorporated. She made her first career start versus number 2 Wisconsin on November 10th, 2023. And today is her birthday, back in 2005, making her what? I guess 20?
Okay. I feel like you wouldn't make up someone volunteering for something.
Yeah, I feel like that has to be true, and like that's such a
Yeah.
specific thing. I mean, you'd assume if it was, if it wasn't true, it would be more of a generic statement than that. The birthday thing I think is interesting, because I feel like I would have seen somewhere on social media about like a birthday post, but maybe I just got lost in my feed.
Yeah.
But because also you look at the first career start, that seems very specific too.
It also says 2005, and I was born in 2005, and I'm a sophomore. So.
And if she made her first career start in 2023, that makes her what at the? That means she's at least a junior.
Yeah, she would have to be a junior. Okay, so I'm going in with the birthday.
Yeah, the birthday has to be the lie.
Let's see.
You got it right.
Yay!
We know what we're doing. We know ball.
Yay! Okay.
On to the next.
All right, so this one is about Skylar Gerhardt, and it says she's either a finance major, transferred from University of California at San Diego, or her dad was an All-American soccer player at University of California at San Diego.
Well, she's definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if she did play at a California school. Maybe it's not the exact one, but I know there's a handful of players, I think, on the volleyball team that have grew up in California and played there previously at various schools. What was it? Can we pull up the school again, please? University of California at San Diego. Dad was an American soccer player at University of California at San Diego. I mean, it would make sense if they both went to the same school.
Yeah.
Finance major is a very bland statement.
I'm going to guess that she did not transfer from University of California.
I think it's a different school. We'll lock that in.
Yeah, I think she's a finance major. That's what I'm guessing.
I guess we wouldn't know. We don't have classes with her. We're not finance majors ourselves.
Yeah, no.
2 for 2. 2
Let's
for 2.
go.
2 for 2. Let's go. Let's go. We guess, Maryland volleyball, maybe they didn't have the most, successful year, but we had success in our game, and that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well, that was fun, but now it's time to name our Terp of the Year.
Our volleyball Terp of the Year is none other than Ajak Malawal. In her senior year, Malawal appeared in all 30 matches while leading the Terps in points with 457.5 and kills with 372. She recorded a season-high 21 kills against both Wake Forest and Rutgers. With her collegiate career coming to a close, we wish her the best in her future endeavors. And speaking of AJ Malawal, I bet she will be featured a lot on our top 5 plays of the year. Madeline, do you want to get us started on our top 5?
Yeah, of course. So first up, we have Mallowall, and she has a kill versus Ohio State. Now, she was the first Terp to hit 10 kills that night, and that was in the 4th set.
Coming in at number 4, we got AJ Mallowall with the first set kill against UCLA. See her on the right side, she winds up like Superwoman and just BAM! Into there. No defender can get to that.
And now for the third of our top 5, Mallowall again. She has a kill versus Penn State at home at Xfinity. Look at her go. This is the 5th set, 19th of the day for AJ.
Number 2, I wonder who this could be. Oh wait, is it again? Oh, it is. It's AJ Mallowall with the kill through the block at Purdue. You see Allie Williams with a sliding dig, perfectly setting up Lily Wagner for the setup. And you see the power on full display there for Mallowall. What an effort.
And at number 1, no, it is not Mallowall, is Allie Williams' dig set to Lily Wagner. She was able to hit the kill in the 2nd set against UCLA at UCLA. That's about does it for this week. Be sure to keep up with all of TSC's coverage on Instagram, X, and YouTube, and online at TerrapinSportsCentral.com.
Ben Wolf and Andrew McBride will anchor the left bench on Monday.
Thanks for tuning in, and have a great week.